In a quiet riverside village surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived an old man named Elias. He was known as the Lantern Maker. His workshop stood at the edge of the village, a small wooden hut with a clay roof, filled with the gentle scent of oil and the soft hum of wind chimes. For 40 years, Elias had crafted lanterns, some small enough to hang by a window, others large enough to light a street. People once came from faraway towns to buy his creations, praising their warmth and beauty. But time had passed, the world had changed. The younger generation preferred bright electric bulbs over hand-carved lanterns. Now few visited him. His hands trembled with age, his eyes dimmed with years. But every morning he would still sit by his workbench, polishing glass, trimming wicks, and whispering quietly to himself. One afternoon, a young boy named Noah, about 12 years old, wandered into Elias's workshop. He watched the old man carefully shaping a piece of bamboo. Curious, he asked, "Sir, why do you still make lanterns?" "Nobody uses them anymore." Elias smiled gently, his eyes shining like fading embers. "Because light, my boy, is never wasted. Even if no one buys it, it still shines for someone, somewhere." Noah frowned. "But what's the use if people don't see it?" Elias chuckled softly. "The sun doesn't ask who's watching, does it? It shines anyway." That answer stuck with Noah. From that day on, after finishing school, he began visiting Elias. He watched how the old man worked. Slow, steady, patient. Each lantern was built with care. The base was carved from bamboo, the glass polished until it sparkled, and the wick adjusted with precision. Elias would hum old songs while working, his voice cracked yet peaceful. Sometimes he would say, "Noah, every lantern is like a person. The outside might look simple, but what matters is the flame inside. As long as it burns, darkness can never win." Noah didn't always understand, but he listened. There was something calming about Elias, something that made the noisy world outside feel quiet. Weeks passed into months. The village prepared for the harvest season. But one evening, dark clouds began gathering over the river. The wind grew wild. By nightfall, a storm had arrived, the worst in decades. Thunder roared like an angry beast. Rain poured down in sheets. The river swelled and broke its banks, flooding the streets. People screamed, running for higher ground. Chickens flapped, dogs barked, children cried. Noah and his mother took shelter in their small house on the hill, but his thoughts raced to Elias, alone in that fragile hut by the riverbank. He grabbed a coat and ran out into the storm. "Noah!" his mother shouted. "Come back! It's too dangerous." But he didn't stop. Water soaked his clothes. The wind pushed against him like a wall. Yet he kept going, guided by flashes of lightning and the faint memory of the old man's voice. When he reached the hut, he saw Elias sitting calmly near his window, lighting a lantern. The water had reached his knees. "Elias!" Noah shouted. "We have to leave." "The river's rising." The old man looked up, smiling faintly. "My legs are too weak, Noah." "But you must go. Take the lanterns. Light the path for others." Noah shook his head. "No, I'm not leaving you." Elias pressed a freshly lit lantern into Noah's hands. "This is my last one," he said softly. "Take it to the hill. Hold it high. Let them see the way tears mixed with rain on Noah's cheeks." He wanted to argue, but the look in Elias's eyes, calm, fearless, stopped him. Noah nodded, clutching the lantern close. He turned and ran through the flooded streets, his feet splashing through muddy water. The wind howled, but he held the lantern high above his head. Its flame flickered, trembling, but it never went out. People saw the small glow through the storm, a golden light dancing against the dark sky. They followed it. One by one, villagers began climbing the hill behind Noah, drawn by that stubborn little flame. By dawn, the storm had finally passed. The village lay broken, roofs shattered, boats overturned, trees uprooted. But every soul on the hill was alive. When Noah looked back toward the riverbank, all he could see was water. Elias's workshop was gone. He waded through the mud, calling the old man's name, but there was no answer. Then he saw it, the same lantern Elias had placed on his window. It floated gently on the water's surface, still glowing. Noah fell to his knees, sobbing. The old man was gone, but his light had endured the storm. Years later, the village was rebuilt stronger than before. At its entrance stood a new workshop with a wooden sign that read, "The Last Light, Lanterns that Guide Lives." Inside, a grown Noah crafted lanterns with the same patience Elias once had. He taught children how to make them too, telling them stories of the night the river tried to swallow the village and how one old man's light refused to die. Whenever travelers asked why his lanterns had verses carved into them, Noah would smile and say, "They're not just decorations, they're reminders. No matter how dark life gets, one small light can guide many."